had to make an important decision today, but it wasn't a difficult decision. Now, there are a lot of things that could have made it difficult, a lot of emotions, a lot of just outside factors, things from my past, things, questions about my future that factor into this decision. But making the decision, not a difficult thing. And I'm going to tell you exactly why it's not a difficult decision for me to make. And it's a lesson that I've learned over and over in my life. And I'm going to tell you about how I actually showed myself that life is what you make of it, right? Because a lot of times we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to make the right decision. And there are two situations. There's one situation where I saw my life kind of turn around, 180 flip in a bad way. And there's one situation where I feel like I made a decision and I stuck to it, and it became one of the greatest things in my life. So make sure you stick around till the end. I'm going to talk about that, and then of course I'm going to get into why I'm even inspired to make this video right here, which is the decision that I had to make today. But you're going to have to wait till the end to hear about that and my thought process, because I want to give you the context first. So first I'm going to talk to you about how I pretty much just turned a good situation into a bad one. That's pretty much what happened. Now, I'm not going to take 100% of the responsibility, because I feel like there are a lot of things that could have still went in my favor, but I definitely did not help the situation. So all I can speak on is my side of the story, my perspective, and what I would do differently now. So with that disclaimer, it was my senior year of high school, and we had a change at the head coach position. In the first 3 years, I had a tough time. Not necessarily with playing the game of basketball. I felt like I was a really good basketball player, and outside of playing for that school, I had a lot of success. But at that school, I just never felt comfortable. I never felt like, and here this SD card goes cutting off again. But yeah, I didn't feel like I was seen. I didn't feel like I was valued as a basketball player, which was the one of I'm not gonna say it was the main motivation, but it was a major motivation for me to even go to this school in the first place. But coaching changed, and this new coach really liked me. He told me, "Hey, I want you to have the best senior year possible." All of the things that he was telling me sounded great. They sounded excellent. They sounded like exactly what I had been waiting for. And they were. They were what I was waiting on. But I was so fearful of going through what I went through again. And my trust was so destroyed that I basically found all of the negative situations that I had experienced previously in this new coach. I turned this new coach in my mind into the same coach that I had the first 3 years. Now, I feel like if either of them knows this or not, I mean, I feel much better about the situation now. I feel like it was something that I needed to learn and needed to go through. I recognize my part in it. The thing that I do say I wish was different was that I was guided a little bit more, because I was a young man. My parents paid a lot of money for that school, and I just feel like I didn't get the guidance in handling that situation that I needed. But it was a tough situation to deal with, and I mean, people have to make decisions every day. So there are no hard feelings. There's no bad blood. But in this situation, at this point in time, it was a nightmare, because I was seeing all of the different, I felt like different signs of this guy not being who he said he was, and not holding up the promises that he said he was going to. That's all I could find. And I just continuously found them. But I've talked about this on this channel before as well. in order to be liked by somebody, you have to be willing to like them. And I wasn't doing a good job of that. I wasn't doing a good job of saying, hey, like, I like what you're doing here, coach. I was pretty much waiting on him to break my trust and betray me, just like I felt like the other coach had. And it was immature, but at the same time, I was 17, 18 years old. So, yeah, I'm going to be immature. And I think I was very mature for my age, but in that aspect, I had to grow, I had to learn. So, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of it, but you can kind of picture this. I remember one situation clearly where the coach just kind of criticized me about something, and I said, yeah, it's the same thing as last year. It's the same thing as last year. And it was the first practice. I was so scarred, I was so jaded by what I experienced that I didn't even give him a fair chance. So if you're watching this, coach, sorry. Same time, I do wish you would have been able to guide me a little bit better and recognize what I was going through. Same time, I know it's not an easy job to do. I've coached young men and young women, and it's tough. It's tough to do right by everybody. It's almost impossible. But I know you were doing your best. I was just doing my best to keep my head above water. So if I hurt you in any way, I do apologize. But moving on to the situation where I recognized that life is what you make of it was my relationship with my beautiful girlfriend, Matea. And it wasn't just one of those Hollywood stories where we met and sparks flew and we just lived happily ever after. We were actually friends for a long time and just kind of keeping up every now and then. But then we had kind of our Hollywood moment, and I was faced with a choice because I had never been in a relationship before, and I could tell that she liked me. I knew that I really liked her, and there was just something that gave me the sense that this was going to turn into a relationship if we saw each other again. And I had to really, on my own, for the first time as a man, I didn't talk to my parents. I didn't even talk to my best friend, who I call my brother. I, for myself, had to really evaluate, because I was always someone who was big on being clear on what he wanted just in life. I think that is why I am a professional athlete in this moment, because I, from a young age, said, hey, this is what I wanted to get. But as you can see, it has crippled me as well, just as much as it's helped me, because when you're clear on what you want, it is very obvious when what you don't want is happening. And it's easy to latch onto that. So that's something that I've had to learn and grow in. So that being said, with her, I saw her as a beautiful young lady, but in my head, I had all of Hollywood and all of my crushes growing up that I had seen on Hollywood or in Hollywood or on Instagram or whatever. And I did a really funny thing for the first time. I never thought to do this. I looked up paparazzi photos of all of my crushes. All of my crushes. I'm not going to go down the list of who, Margot Robbie. No, I'm just kidding. But Margot Robbie was one, and Ana de Armas, because they were big movie stars at the time. And my brother and I, we were just kind of, we had our crushes on them, but I didn't even see them for who they really were. And my girlfriend, she doesn't wear a lot of makeup. She's very sporty, so she likes looking nice, and she likes dressing up and going out and getting dinner and just looking nice, just like any other woman does. But she was never dolled up like the girls you see on Instagram. And I had to come to terms with the reality of that entire space. But for me, I said, hey, I want to commit to this girl, and I did something crazy. I actually looked up these paparazzi photos, and I saw these are just normal women, just like Matea, my girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, wow. So it's really just about me choosing someone who I like. It took all the pressure off for me because I felt like, oh man, if I choose someone, really my whole life, because I never had a girlfriend, and I never even really kissed a girl or anything. I never got let a girl get close to me like that because I felt like I would miss out on the one. And for me, the one was also just this Hollywood image. I even told one of my close friends, I said, hey, yeah, I want my girl to be like a red carpet caliber girl. But in this moment where I said, okay, man, I really like this girl and I see the future and I just know this is right, I had to rethink that. I had to just calibrate. And I'm so glad I looked that up. And there was also a powerful video of this woman just talking about the dynamic of wearing makeup, and it changed my perspective, and it just freed me to make the choice to say, hey, I want to do this life thing with you. And the one, it's not something that I find, it's something that we develop. Us being the one for one another is a choice that we make every single day, even in the moments where you don't feel like it. It's a choice. It feels like, yeah, you maybe get frustrated, and sometimes you think, oh man, I just wish this situation would be easier. But you always choose again and again to love that person. And that's why I say life is what you make of it. So many people run from that challenge. So many people run from that resistance. It's what you make of it. If you choose something and you commit to it, that's it. You're going to make the best of it, or you're going to make the worst of it if you feel like you made the wrong choice. If you say, hey, this is a choice, and I'm sticking to it, there are other choices I could make, but not making a choice is also a choice. And so choosing to move forward in whatever it is 9 times out of 10 going to be best for you, because you're going to be able to make the most of whatever situation it is. This takes me into my current situation. My current situation was to either wait to sign another professional basketball contract, or to take something that came onto the table that I felt like was a good situation for me to be able to be who I want to be. Because for me, if I was playing basketball for money, I think I would have quit a long time ago. If I was playing basketball for the fame or the status, I think I would have quit a long time ago. I play the game of basketball because I love to play the game of basketball. It does not matter who I'm playing with, where I'm playing, I love to play. I love to play the game. And I'm 25 years old now, and I've made the commitment to myself to become the best basketball player that I can be. To become the best basketball player I can be. To challenge myself to become the best basketball player I can be. And a lot of that is mental. Showing up to the game in a way that I can be my best. That's what I want to challenge. And I want to put myself in a position where I can challenge that. And the situation that came up, I feel like I can do that. And a lot of times my family, obviously they're not in my body. They haven't experienced everything that I've experienced. Doesn't mean they don't feel for me. Doesn't mean they don't hurt with me when things don't go well, or celebrate with me when things do go well. But this experience is something that I've had to, just like choosing a girlfriend, I had to really just block out all the noise and make that decision for me, because it was the one that I had to live with. And it was important for me to say, hey, no, I'm gonna do this. And because in the past I hesitated and I didn't let anyone near me. I didn't let the girls near enough to me to even want to be in a relationship with me at times, because I was so fixated on this idea of the one and the perfect situation, the perfect girlfriend, the perfect wife, that I was just finding imperfections, and I was questioning, did I pick the right one? Is this someone I can commit to? Instead of saying, you know what? I'm not perfect, she's not perfect, but we can balance each other out. We can build something together. If I'm choosing her and she's choosing me, we can do anything together. It's not always going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And in this basketball situation, I understand that I expected my situation this summer to be a lot different. I expected the decision to be a lot more obvious. But I do believe that nothing happens for no reason. And in this situation, I do feel like taking this step is the right step, because it's a conscious decision to go and take my destiny into my own hands and to continue becoming the best basketball player I can be. Being a part of something, competing against other guys, building toward winning a championship, doing all these different things, and whatever I feel like I deserve in the future, it's bound to come to me if I continue to craft that mindset, continue to show up as the player that I want to be. That's the exciting part for me anyway. Showing up as that best version of myself. So I know if I can continue to do that and do that in the situation that I'm going into now, which obviously I'm going to take you with me because I'm making a YouTube video like this one every single day. And yeah, I know for a fact that if I go into this situation and if I'm able to be who I know I can be, not just like producing on the court, but me just being me and showing up as the best version of me, then everything else is going to take care of itself. Yeah, life is going to get in the way. Life is going to throw stuff that we didn't expect. People are going to do things that maybe they said they were going to do differently. They might betray you, but it's always going to come down to how you respond. It's always going to come down to how you decide to live your life. And that's something I've learned in my 25 young years, and something that I continue to see show up in my life. And that's why I say it was an important decision, but it wasn't really a difficult one, because I have faith that if I am showing up the way I know I'm supposed to, then things are going to line up exactly how I want them to. It's how I ended up sitting here talking to you like this. It's how I ended up with a beautiful girlfriend who I love and do this life thing together with. And it's going to be what takes me to exactly what I'm envisioning, and even better, because most of the time you end up with even better than you picture. That's definitely what happened with her, and I know it's going to happen with this basketball thing too. I just have to stick with it. And I know this was a little bit of an all over the place video and me just kind of pouring my thoughts and heart out, but yeah, it was important for me to just talk through for myself. And these videos haven't really been reaching that many people anyway, but if you're now one of hundreds of thousands of people who've been watching, then hey, nice to meet you. I'm glad you stuck around until now, and I hope I see you in the future. But before we get into all that, I want you to remember that the best is yet to come, and I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you on the next video, which you should find right here. And the option to subscribe and keep having talks like this is right here. I'll see you wherever you choose to see me next.